Yo, what's up gamers, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm starting my own religion. Like most of the big religions out there, we have to have some kind of Christ figure in the middle. Unfortunately, Kanye West was already taken, so instead I'll have to use a 450-pound man who could barely walk. Wings of Redemption also works. I mean, what's not to love about him? He's a great guy. There's so many great things he's done over the years. For example, he exists. Yeah, that's it. Well, I guess I'm already stuck with him as my Lord and Savior. So I guess we might as well make the most of it and look at some of the things he's done over the past 6 months that truly make him that divine figure that'll save our souls and give our lives meaning. But before we get into it, I'd just like to announce that I'm officially launching my own Discord server. Link is in the description. And with that being said, let's get into this shit. Like most people, Wings of Redemption has a neighbor. Unlike most people though, he has a neighbor that was willing to betray him. Well, Jesus can't say that. Back in February, his neighbor decided to call up some troll channels, to score some internet points, and the result of this was a 2-hour-long interview over the phone. Here are some of the highlights.
The weirdest thing for me and what made me reach out, really, is the rumors about because there was rumors going around through the family about possible sexual assault on his sister. He had either said, I believe that he said something extremely inappropriate. He said that he didn't care what he said because what he said wasn't a fucking lie. And it was some fucking straight up inappropriate shit to be saying about your 13-year-old sister. Listen, I heard through the grapevine that the only reason that they even are a thing, get this, he supposedly made a deal with her that if she married him, he had some property to give, right? Kind of like bait and switch. He didn't have shit to give, but he kind of led her to believe he did. And now they're just stuck in this like, well, even if I divorce him, I won't get shit fucking whole. And she's heavy trolling on the dude. She's heavy trolling him, like all the time. I bumped into her at Walmart one time and she went on a 20-minute tirade about how he's a fucking disgusting pig and he stinks, and when he sleeps he fucking snores, and how uncomfortable it is fucking living with the guy. Like, like, why in the fuck are you married? Then there's rumors about her cheating.
Well,
and I mean, it's like
way or like online, because that's
like the online shit. I mean, come on, dude. She's not out there tricking or anything, I don't think, but for sure she's talking to other people. I'd say it's about mutual. I feel like the marriage was to get at each other. Yeah, oh yeah. All she has to do is do a basic 9 to 5 for 25 hours, and he can just piggyback off her health insurance. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, he doesn't do anything that wouldn't benefit him. I mean, he's big, dude. He's big. Like I'm a big guy. I'm over 300 pounds, and he's really big. Like he's way fucking bigger than me. At his biggest, he was almost 600 pounds, and that he's been around 470, 440, 450 range pretty much consistently. Listen. I weigh 350 pounds, and he is 2 of me.
So to recap, Wings is being accused of sexually harassing his little sister, marrying his wife just so he can get her health insurance, a wife which is cheating on him, and to make matters worse, he's being called fat by a guy who weighs 350 pounds. That's like a guy pulling up to a homeless person in a shitty car and saying, well, at least I'm not as broke as you are. The day the first part of this interview came out, Wings decided to nip it in the butt and talk about it on stream, starring a very special guest, his neighbor.
And I will say this as well before we start. This was a 4-hour long conversation that I did not agree to recording.
For starters, the full interview on YouTube is only 2 hours long. Secondly, if you're concerned about being recorded, why did you agree to do the interview in the first place? And third, what exactly were your intentions for doing the interview?
And they asked me specific questions about topics from Jordy, PKA, to other people that were in the YouTube community.
Correct. Specific questions are indeed asked on interviews. That's kind of the whole point behind interviews. Now let's watch as his neighbor completely backtracks on everything he said during that interview.
The rumors about because there was rumors going around through the family about possible sexual assault on his sister.
What? Say it again, Wings.
Don't
Yeah.
feel ashamed if you got to jerk your shit to your sister.
He had either said I believe that he said something extremely inappropriate, and when he was called on it when she confronted him about what he had said, he said that he didn't care what he said
Right.
because
Now, this was a completely different person I was talking about in the conversation.
Oh, really?
there was rumors going around through the family about possible sexual assault on his sister.
Really? Okay. We haven't
And
heard of
that being a big meaning behind Sabrina kicking him out to go to his grandmother's house.
So I'm guessing someone else must have been living with Wings' grandma during this time. Or, of course, he's only retracting the statement because Wings is mad at him. Most likely the latter, but it's worthwhile to point out that his claim isn't substantiated by any evidence. So as far as we know, he could be lying about the sister thing. As a matter of fact, they called up Wings' mom and she denied these claims. But enough about Wings' sister. Let's see what he has to say about his wife.
He supposedly made a deal with her that if she married him, he had some property to give.
Never
All right,
been like
This
kind
is
of
the part
like
about the
bait
wife
and
here.
switch. He didn't have shit to give, but he kind of led her to believe he did. And now they're just stuck in this like,
Alright, so
well, even if I divorce him, I won't
You
get
stop
shit.
Alright, so this was a scenario brought up by them. They said, well, do you think that Wings' wife married him for his property or for his money or for this or for that, or that he did the other? And I was spinning on what they were saying.
And just like with the last clip, he's lying.
We just
Yeah.
got yesterday confirmation. He essentially told us that he would choose streaming any day over Kelly. That
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we
and,
had this convo with him like for an hour.
The only reason, listen, I heard through the grapevine that the only reason that they even are a thing, get this, he supposedly made a deal with her that if she married him, he had some property to give, right?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this guy's not willing to stand up against Wings, in person at least.
They said this, and this, and I was like, well, any scenario in this situation could, you know, I mean, any hypothetical could fit if you don't have any fucking knowledge of what actually is going on. So I gave my hypothetical on the shit too.
Yeah, they were just dropping hypothetical scenarios there. Hypothetical scenarios which have no relation to the real world. Kinda like my thoughts on the assassination of JFK.
Like I said, it was in conversation. This shit shouldn't have been mallyhacked and put on the freaking internet. It's dumb shit, bro.
This shit should not have been on the internet, which is why I put it on the internet for us all to enjoy.
And to you, Jordy, if this shit causes any ill will between you and
I don't
your
know what
wife,
was
it's
said about
not
the
my intentions.
It's
Talking about her marrying you for the property or whatever.
Like, how did that even come up?
They were spinballing a whole bunch of shit, saying that she married, that you and her got together for benefits, or she got with you because she thought you might get some of your property if it was an early divorce. There was a bunch of shit that they were saying.
For the first time, he is technically correct.
He also wants a little bit of a tax break because if he's married and his wife's there as a burden, he can claim more tax money and pay less. And
people were saying it was
I mean-
for health insurance. That
oh yes,
So yes, the interviewers did bring up the health insurance, but only after he brought up the tax break. After this, the neighbor would then go on to make his very own YouTuber apology video.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night.
Oh sorry, wrong clip. That one's way too sincere.
Hello, my name is Aaron, and I'd like to say that I'm doing this on my own accord. Everything that I said about Jordy and his family was lies. I lied through my teeth. It was wrong of me to do. I should have done it. I didn't hear any of the information from anybody else. It was all me. I apologize. I'm very sorry. Very sorry to Jordy and your family. I'm very sorry to everyone that's been hurt by these lies. I should have done it. It was wrong of me. I apologize. Very sincerely apologize.
So at this point, the neighbor has a bit of a credibility problem. Was he lying during the original interview, or was he lying during the confrontation with Wings? We may never know the answer to this question, but hey, at least I can sleep well at night knowing he's still not the fattest Aaron I know. You know, I may have talked about Wings of Redemption for the past 10 minutes, but let's shift focus and talk about someone completely different. At this point, I'd like to honor a true American hero. I am of course talking about Bernie Gores, a CNN journalist and activist. Unfortunately, Bernie lost his life earlier this year after stepping on a landmine planted by Russian-backed separatists in Ukraine. However, after reporting his death, CNN did something a little weird, I must say. It seems that they are now denying his death. Let's find out more.
In late February, a Twitter account calling itself CNN Ukraine tweeted out the supposed news that an American activist named Bernie had been killed in the war in Ukraine.
Despite breaking the news of Bernie's death, CNN is now trying to cover up his death. It is absolutely heartbreaking that a company would do this to their own employee. Now, why would they do this? Likely to avoid paying a settlement with his family.
This got some people agitated because they remembered that in August, a Twitter account calling itself CNN Afghanistan had tweeted that this same man, Bernie, was a journalist who had been killed in Kabul by the Taliban.
This tweet does not exist. CNN photoshopped it so that way they can help cover up the death of Bernie Gores. By making it seem like there was false reporting, CNN can cast doubt on the credibility of his death.
Now, a bunch of people criticize or mock CNN for supposedly reporting the same man's death in 2 different wars, and notably a senior Russian official at the United Nations used these so-called CNN tweets as supposed evidence of the lies and fakes of the mainstream media.
It's certainly evidence how CNN is willing to throw their own journalist under the bus.
In fact, though, his evidence was itself fake. The actual CNN never tweeted any of this stuff. Both the quote-unquote CNN Afghanistan account and the quote-unquote CNN Ukraine account are total phonies that are not affiliated with CNN in any way. Both have been suspended by Twitter. So who's that guy in these photos? He is a gaming personality, not actually named Bernie, and very much alive, whose name online trolls like to throw on social media during various international crises.
Oh hey, that's Richard, Bernie's identical twin. Now CNN is confusing 2 different people just so they can maintain the narrative that they're a good company that treats their employees right.
That whole CNN article was the Bernie name is supposed to be racist. It's supposed to make fun of me. It's not the real CNN. It's just some crap people made up on Photoshop.
No, these tweets and Bernie's image are very real. What's next? Is he gonna call this woman and her Donald Trump taxidermy ventriloquist dummy a fake? Or this lady eating her own fingers? Whatever the case may be, we have to do our best to honor Bernie's legacy, as well as to push back on the lies and manipulation by the mainstream media. Back in May, Richard decided to take the 1-hour-long pilgrimage to witness the grand opening of South Carolina's very own Buc-ee's. Now, what is a Buc-ee's, you may ask? Well, a giant gas station / convenience store, of course. And Wings, like the food connoisseur he is, just had to show up to the big day. And because of this, Wings decided to record all of it on video for us to enjoy. Unfortunately though, he removed the video before I had a chance to download it, so instead you'll have to settle for some random reaction channel watching it.
Take this in. I want you to take this in. This is a Wings of Redemption video.
As you heard him say, this is a Wings of Redemption video, and he doesn't really make those very often anymore. And don't worry, I'll be censoring this corner of the video for you guys to enjoy. Our story starts with Wings paying $71 to fill up his tank with gas. Then Wings takes a look at what his wages will be once his channel inevitably dies.
House, team lead, department lead.
I wouldn't do it if he wasn't gonna go to Buc-ee's. This place is great.
3 weeks paid time off.
Of course, Wings' next logical step would be to go to the food aisle.
I'm leaning towards steakhouse.
There's more of it. I'm leaning towards mesquite pepper.
Okay, we'll get mesquite pepper.
Now you might be asking, why am I talking about this? Well, 1, to pad out the video's runtime, and 2, because Wings did something he hasn't done in a while.
was incredible. That was we gotta document this before he deletes it.
If only I thought about that sooner. The last thing for today is to talk about a recent New York Times article that talks about guess who? This whole saga started once a clip emerged of Wings saying he was in talks with the New York Times and had given out Wings 007's personal information. I would show you this clip, but unfortunately it's gone now. And so everyone was left to hold their breath. Everyone was waiting for this article to come out, and once it eventually came out, it was not as positive as Wings had hoped. So let's go through the article and see why we shouldn't believe everything we hear about the man in this photo. A picture of Jordy Jordan, an online gamer, has been attached to fake news and numerous bogus reports of his death, including from the mass shootings in Uvalde, Texas. As you can tell, the New York Times is also confusing Bernie Gores and Wings of Redemption. You know, when CNN was doing it, I knew not to expect any better. But New York Times, this is just pathetic. They are literally doing CNN's dirty work for them. In the outpouring of grief immediately after the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, posts appeared on Twitter and other social media platforms about a man named Bernie. He was a teacher at Robb Elementary School who died sheltering his students from gunfire. Alright, I'm just gonna say it. Bernie was a really good meat shield. And we have to honor his sacrifices here on this channel. Because as you're about to see, the media is gonna use several previous hoaxes to cover up Bernie's death. Instead, the posts are part of a years-long harassment campaign against him, taking place on online platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and Discord. The posts have over time spread bogus information about high-profile tragedies, to the delight of many of those sharing the joke. Wings then says, they just take a picture I put up on the internet and they just put me into everything. Oh, I can confirm. Now, we're about to see some of the New York Times' top journalism right here. He began playing Call of Duty for an online audience in 2008 after losing a job at a steel mill. Before that, he regularly appeared on a podcast where he attracted some criticism for his statements, including some homophobic and racial slurs and comments in support of lowering the age of consent.
I did say the age of consent should be 12. You know why I said that? I knew girls that were like 12, 13, 14, fucking on the regular.
So according to this article, Wings of Redemption started off at a podcast, then left to go join a steel mill, and then after getting laid off, he became a COD commentator. Sounds like a natural career path. What are you talking about? I think this gives them a form of power. Messing with somebody or making somebody feel bad or saying that it's just horrific that they're so desensitized to, nice grammar by the way, that gives them a feeling of belonging. But I guess it's okay when he does those things.
I'm just trolling you, chill.
Hey, whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
What? Who the fuck says that?
I say that because you're a fucking piece of shit. Can you please stop?
Will you please stop?
Please stop.
I'm good with you shutting me out.
Wings, did you spawn in?
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking faggot.
Oh, Wings, I've been here.
Oh, don't fucking suck. Fucking faggot.
Yeah, we've been there, man.
Fuck you.
Me?
Fuck! Why the fuck you stream that shit?
It was your idea.
Wings is extremely hypocritical in this situation. He expects everyone to treat him like he's the second coming of Christ, while at the same time he gets to be a piece of shit to everyone else. Now for the rest of this article, the New York Times does what the New York Times does best and make the story political. But we won't go into that today. Well, that's everything interesting that's happened to Wings over the first half of this year. But don't worry, the saga doesn't end here. Wings will always keep coming back, like a diseased rat. Well gamers, that's the end of this video. Sorry for the lack of uploads recently. I've been busy getting paid, and if you somehow enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. I plan to make more videos on Wings whenever there's something interesting going on, like his inevitable divorce. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them, and also be sure to join my Discord server, link is in the description. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna be late for my first Sunday service. If this video doesn't convince you to join me, I don't know what will. You think Kanye's still busy?